How y'all doing?
Coach,
Good.
Coach, after being able to watch the film, what was your message kind of to the team after being able to go back and see where things went right, when things went wrong, and maybe how they can embrace attacking this week?
Yeah, I think first and foremost is an opportunity to learn from mistakes. I mean, that's what you have to get out of that. Otherwise, that whole game was a complete waste. So I think that just for them, understanding what we're trying to accomplish mentally in each rep is so important, and you want to get all that stuff out right now during the preseason, and hopefully we got a lot out during that game.
What bothered you the most about Saturday?
I think there was obviously a lot of stuff when you have a game like that. The one thing I'll tell you I liked that the offense kept battling. Defense finally got a couple stops there at the end, but in the end, that's not what we want to be about when it comes to physicality. Across the board, I think everybody can be more physical, but it looked like they were thinking too much. There was too much on their minds, and there were just simple things that, when we come out here. I wish we would get some of those looks, and there were just some misalignments. And the starting point is always alignment and assignment for defense, for offense. It's just hearing the call and knowing where to line up, and then execute. So those basic things, for whatever reason, didn't work. So we have to evaluate, all those guys. Those guys have to evaluate their process to get ready for that game, because we can't put that stuff on tape. That's not what we're about.
Do you think it's a result of going too easy in camp, or?
No, not at all. Not at all.
In terms of run blocking specifically, how much of that is physicality and how much of that is the cerebral side?
I think that, you always want to be physical. You have to dominate the man in front of you. Whenever you have a double team, you have to take advantage of that. I think that whenever you don't know where you're going, it's hard to ask a guy to be physical. So in the run game standpoint is that there was some unbelievable looks for us to be able to take advantage of the defense. But when people are, either going the wrong way or not understanding the angle that we're trying to create for them, it's not going to be advantageous for us. And they're going to take advantage of it, and that's what we saw.
You said, guys.
Yes, sir. So what we're going to do is we're going to change kind of how we go through this week, because I want them to feel kind of the regular rhythm during a regular week. So we'll have today's kind of a little bit of a bonus day, but we'll do a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Friday, and a Saturday, just like we would during the regular week. Yes. 2 times. Tomorrow we'll have uppers, and the next day we'll have full pads.
Yeah, when you have a concern, Coach, over a lack of physicality, you don't want to, start changing the way you've done camp. So how do you increase that? Is it just assignment and the mentality to make sure?
Yeah, I just think it's mentality. I mean, it's one of those things. We come out here and we've had some great practices. I mean, I would have never guessed that would have happened for either side of the ball or anything. And it's not all the guys. It's just maybe one guy on one play, and then the next play it's another guy, and then it's another guy, and so it's not like somebody's just totally going off the reservation continually throughout the game. It's just, again, when you put a lot of people in there, you're going to have that human error. But I mean, heck, in the end, they don't want to put that on tape. They know that, and we don't want that.
If Billy Turner is healthy for the Seattle game, is it your expectation he'll be your starter right tackle?
Yeah, I think right now we have to first answer that question and see if he's healthy. So I don't want to say anything until
But if he is, argument.
Again, just want to see where he's at. It's all about where he's at, and we want to be sure we have people that can play multiple positions.
Coach, who is not going to practice today, or who's going to be limited this week or today?
Limited to, obviously, we had OJ. He had the elbow, so he's out. He's going to be out. It's the same kind of thing that happened with Jonas, so no surgical stuff. So that's very positive. We'll have Tucker. He's being evaluated more for his big toe. That was fascinating. So hopefully that he'll be all right. I mean, if you being out there with him and watching it, I don't think I've ever seen something like that happen with a toe. Jonas Griffin's coming along. Sam Martin, we expect him to punt on this weekend. Moody's coming along well. We got Tyree, he's coming along well. He's got that unique deal. Dulcich, we want to get him out there, but we don't want any setbacks, so we're trying to do this the right way with him. Marquise, we're trying to get him out there. We'll see how he evaluates. And same thing with Billy. And then Tom, Compton, obviously on pup.
At what point with the starters do you start taking a look at Seattle and what they do and get ready for all that?
That's a great question. You don't want to start right now because you don't want the game plan to get dull. So you still want them to continually get better and compete against the defense we're going against, which is ours. So I'm not going to lie, might have looked at a couple things myself, maybe talked with Russell a couple things here and there, but you just don't want to go 4 weeks or however much longer we still have to do that, because things can change. So you don't want to solidify anything. So we'll slowly implement that in probably next week a little bit and talk about some basic things that we know we want to do, but we won't want to, we want to try to get it to as much of a game week as possible, getting to that first week.
What are you hoping to see
Coach,
from?
where is Tom Compton right now in his recovery? Does he have a chance at week 1, or do you think he may start on the pup?
No, he's going to start on the pup, and he's continually working through his back, and it's another guy. We're so lucky that we're going to be able to have him later on in the season. He brings so much veteran presence. He's great in the meeting rooms with all those guys. So we just have to be sure we do get him back the right way.
With
Same plan, same plan personnel-wise on the Viking game. Same players.
Yeah, I would say,
Yeah.
right now, unless some things change, just like last week, a couple guys, talking with them. But for me, you lose, 2 guys for an extended amount of period just in this Bills game. I don't want it to be anybody that potentially could be in that Seattle game.
Coach, assignments and the sort of defensive side of the game, does that give you pause more globally about where you are in terms of guys getting comfortable in the system, or is it individual?
This is what I'd tell you. When you look at practice and the things we've done on practice, it's been really good. There's been a lot of things that have continually grown. The guys have felt more comfortable. We've been able to execute better, both in the run game and in the pass game. Same thing with the defense. They've been getting after us a whole bunch. We saw that last week at times. And they had a good week versus Dallas. They did a lot of good stuff versus Dallas. I think that for whatever reason there was a lull, and I think that they need to kind of evaluate themselves where that occurred, and then we just can't have that happen again.
Coach, what were a few things that you did like, if any, from Saturday's game?
I thought we passed the ball pretty well. I thought Rip came in, and he was in a very unique situation, being down by that much. He didn't skip a beat, and he was throwing the ball all over the place. We had some great routes. One cool thing was to see Albert run the route on the left side and catch it out of bounds, and then he comes back with the same kind of a route and is able to hold the red line. He learned how much room he had to give the quarterback, and be able to get that explosive play was great. But I thought there was some good execution from the offensive standpoint. Special teams, there was a lot of really good stuff. I thought that they showed, number 12 is going to be a good returner back there, and we just got to finish some of those blocks. And I think now that those guys have him back there and see that, and even when 17 was back there, they know, hey, if we block a little longer, something good is going to happen. And then with the defense, it's just a great opportunity to learn from the mistakes, those simple little things. Because if they correct those, they all know it. And the good thing is they were self-correcting. They understood what had gone wrong. They were communicating to the coaches. So as long as you have that and you know that you're doing certain things, then you can get those corrected and they can be better.
Does the battle at wide receiver, is it as close in the coach's eyes as it kind of seems with us, and just in terms of how many guys are fighting for those last
It's funny. Every time you think somebody's going to separate themselves, another guy steps up. And it's not necessarily that anybody's taking a step back. It's that other people are stepping up. And as a coach, that's what you're trying to create at all positions. So I think it is very close. I think those guys are really working hard, and they're getting a great understanding of the pass game and what we're trying to accomplish. And I think that's what is good to see. And it's a good, positive problem to have for us.
Final two, Andrew Mason and Sean Keeler.
With KJ Hamler, what are you hoping to see from him this week? And is he going to be able to do some team period full speed reps at some point?
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. We definitely want him to get out there. I know he is chomping at the bit. He's one of those guys, if you tell him he can't do something, he's not a very happy camper. So, and that's what you want. You want the guys to want to get out there and want to push themselves. So I'm excited for him to get out here for both individual, some more team reps, just everything, to start incorporating him and seeing what he can do. Because for me, I just remember him from his college experience, and so now and he was a good player then. So we want to take advantage of that now and see where he's at, and we'll see. He might be a guy that needs to get some reps in the preseason game. We're going to communicate and make sure that he gets what he needs to get ready.
Last one, Sean.
Coach, with the understanding that this is the preseason, it's about Seattle getting ready for that opener. What do you say to fans, though, maybe selfishly, who say, God, I'd love to see Russ in the opener. I'd love to see some of the ones.
Well, first thing I tell the fans is I'm sorry for that game 2 days ago, because that is not what we're looking for. But I think the fans will understand more when we get all the way to week 17 or all those things. And it goes with all those guys, Cortland, Jerry, all those guys. We want to see them in real games. We want that to happen. And it's looking at my past, heck, we were 0-3 in the preseason last year with the Green Bay Packers, and those guys didn't play. But in the end, they were healthy and they were strong as we finished throughout that season. So that's what you're always looking for.
Thanks, Coach.